was scheduling this video for later, and then it starts. Darn it. It's the calm before the storm. This is sort of like Christmas Eve, but with a little less pressure because nobody has to go to church today. July 3rd. July 4th is my favorite holiday. How many people think that? It really is. I love it. Hold on, let me get this thing on. Copy link. Okay. Hang on, I'm gonna send this. Hold on. Just a minute. Hold on. I'll be back in a second. There. Oh, Karen, aren't you nice? Happy 4th. I know, we just had an hour-long coffee chat with my members. It's very nice. We covered all the bases. How Amos got his name. People got to see Russell, my husband, me fold laundry. Oh, I did do a TEDx talk. Yeah, I'm trying to, YouTube is my friend. Facebook has announced that they are deleting all old live videos. So you have until August 1st to push it off. So as of August 1st, you will never be able to see an old video again. And YouTube, I can group them like Wood Kids Growing Up or my in-laws videos, but they have member access. So I'm working on that. So anyway, yeah, YouTube is your friend. Anyway, and I told people today, if they become a YouTube member, I will do a Zoom this week, and I will pick a couple people to send Amos mosquito hats to. Actually, I have one right here. Oh, look here. Look at here. We've got this hat. This is the regular hat. So this is a restaurant where my children all work. Amos Mosquito, Atlantic Beach. And then we have the infamous visor, which Amos has learned to wear. Visor, it's wet because I just washed it. And anyway, I love this visor. And it smells so clean. So anyway, there you have it. Become a member. Let's see, July 3rd. Now, oh, welcome, Kim. July 3rd. So July 4th is my favorite holiday, but it's a little bit, it's kind of stressful. And I think the purpose is, what is not the purpose? What is difficult about the July scenario is the feeding of people. So somebody said today, how are you enjoying summer break? And I was like, it's not really a break. Is it like you have children home all the time? And I have teenagers, like they're not that difficult. But the food is what is tricky about teenagers. So planning the meals for the weekend, knowing what we're gonna eat for lunch, breakfast, whatever. Actually, I was gonna make a breakfast casserole. I guess I'll do that tomorrow. And so last night I cooked, oh, thanks, Kathy. I cooked 16 pounds of freaking chicken wings. 16 pounds. And you might be like, 16 pounds is too many pounds. No. I cooked 12 pounds this past weekend, and they were gone in a matter of secondos. Thank you, Russell. Yeah. I mean, a lot of chicken wings.
Have you fed on her yet?
Yes, she's had breakfast. And so anyway, we're going to cook tonight and have dinner with our neighbors, which we do pretty often. And my parents are going to come for supper, which is nice. Yes, your food budget skyrockets. So yesterday I went to the Harris Teeter. We only have a food line where I live. At the beach, we have a food line, but I was like, I'm going to go to Harris Teeter because, you know, it's a special occasion. Holy crap-oly. I had no idea the Teeter was as expensive as like Whole Foods or Fresh Market. I got Now, I bought a tenderloin, which was like $150. So I get that that was expensive, but it's going to feed like 15 people. So, I mean, it's really not that expensive when you think about it. And it's 4th of July. Like, we're going to have that 4th of July night for dinner because it's, you know, a special occasion, like Christmas Eve. It's $650 at the Harris Teeter. My credit card got declined because they thought it was fraud. And whenever, so this is just something. So pretty often I go somewhere, yeah, and they'll be like, your credit card's been declined. Do y'all have that happen to you? I feel like I have that happen to me all the time. And it's not actually being declined. It's just, you know, they think it's fraud. So I was like, she was like, your credit, I didn't have a credit card. I only had my Apple Pay, whatever, on my wallet. And I felt like when she said it, she was like, your credit card's been declined. Like, do you, and I was like, is it me? Because maybe I'm just sensitive, but I always feel like it's like, you have no business being here. You're broke. Get out of my store. That's how that's like what my interpretation is of everything. Which I don't know if that's true or not, but that's how I felt. So anyway, that was traumatic. So I had to use my stupid Apple Wallet something, which is like some pretend credit card that Apple tricks you into having, which is annoying. And anyway. Yeah, and then they can't just say like press 1 if it's not fraud. It's like you need to call. I was like, I am not calling. I'm not going to call and then go over charges from 9 years ago. So I was able to go in on the app and I got it fixed. So there's that. But anyway, that was at the Teeter. So yes, we'll be doing a lot of cooking, and we have children working. My older son is a waiter. He works tonight. My middle son is busing. He does not work tonight. Russell, you don't work tonight, do you, or do you? You're on call. He's on call. And then my daughter works tomorrow night and Saturday night. So everybody's kind of on different work schedules. My oldest son is going to Spain on Saturday. He's very excited. He's going to meet a bunch of high school friends, and then he's doing a summer school class at the London School of Economics. And he has been working like crazy to pay for all his side trips over there. And somebody the other day was like, aren't you going to give him money? And I was like, no, I'm not. When I went to, I mean, we gave him our credit card, but last time he did a trip like this, he had our credit card, and when he got back, he and I sat down and we went through what he needed to pay for and what Daddy and I would pay for. And we sat down and it was about $800. And my husband said, are you really going to make him pay us back? And I was like, yes, I am. Because I don't want to raise children that don't have a concept that a credit card is just I mean, I'd love to have a credit card and never have to pay it too, but that's not reality. My parents did a really nice job of teaching us about money, and really a nice job. What we could afford, what we couldn't afford. And we really do try to do that with our children. I mean, this is like obviously a first world problem, but last year for Christmas, I was like, I really want to go to Costa Rica. Like, this will be fun. And I started looking at airline tickets and places to stay, and it was like the trip was up to $16,000, and I was like, we can't afford to go. We cannot afford to go. And I think it's good to have those conversations of, you know what, we can't afford to go. Because we're making other decisions, like we have a condominium at the beach that we're not renting. We're all staying here all summer. You know, if we wanted to rent that in the summer, maybe we could afford to go. But you have to make choices, right? So anyway, it's my spiel for July 3rd. Um, the other thing, put a travel alert on the credit card. Oh, that's a good idea. We have Amos, who has autism. He's 11, and July 4th is, as my friend Kate says, it can be kind of a lonely holiday, but we're sort of past, we're over the hump for the most part. Not totally, but over the hump a little bit. He doesn't do well with really loud noises, but he likes to watch the fireworks. So on Sunday night, there's some, and we'll go we sit on the hood of the car, and it's down at a little beach club, and they have them across the street. So we'll go and watch them there, and that'll be really fun. And he likes that. But tomorrow night, when he was little, on July 4th night, he and I would like be basically in the bed like a scared dog, and we didn't. I remember one year like sitting in bed and crying, like being so sad that I wasn't outside for the 4th. You know, let me get warm. So that is kind of, it's it can be lonely, I think, for families that have children with disabilities, particularly sensory disabilities. And we definitely cannot go to, how does Honor do on the 4th? Oh, Honor loves a firework. Honor is our service dog. And when the puppies, she's from an organization called Paws for People. And when the puppies are 3 days old, I think they used to start acclimating them to like the sounds of guns and fireworks. And like Honor thinks getting brushed is fun, a bath. Like if you get out a blower, like they take the blowers with puppies and use the blower. So she loves all those things, which most dogs don't. Yes, like the video if you're watching. Thank you, Tiffany. So that's a real hit. Have you tried an insulated cup for your coffee? Well, no, that would make too much sense. Then I couldn't go to the microwave. Anyway, so yes, we don't do any so Saturday night we have where our condo is, a condominium picnic. And Amos will walk out and kind of take a look at everybody, and he'll go back in. So he doesn't really jump into that. Oh, Dunescape, you're right down the beach from me, Nicole. And they have a bunch of stuff you could sign up for at the beach club, like flamethrowers, and we can't do all that. It's just too loud, too busy, too much. But they do have a water slide there. They'll set up a water slide, I think, tomorrow morning. And so I'm going to find out what time, and I'll take him pretty early to do that before it gets busy. And because he really likes doing that. So that's like 3 days. So we'll do that most every morning. Even though I detest getting in the car for the 4th of July, I will do it for Amos. And then the rest of my family, I think, will go maybe out on the boat 4th of July night to watch the fireworks, which is a really fun thing to do. We did it, I've done it maybe once, and Amos couldn't do it, but that's fun. So they might do that, and he and I'll kind of stay here. And then cook very large tenderloin I got at Harris Teeter Friday night. So we'll cook that kind of early. You have to have red hot dogs if you live in Eastern North Carolina. Bright leaf hot dogs. They're from Smithfield. You can get them at Food Line at the beach, but you can't get them at Food Line in Edenton anymore. I don't know why. It's sort of annoying. I don't know what we're doing today. One child's asleep. One is in his room. Two are out one is on a surfing, and my husband's out there too. They have one of these foils It's not an e-foil, but it's like a foil board with a motor and a thing where the thing comes up out of the water. They've got that thing, so they're really keen on that. Yeah, and next week, Amos goes to camp, and Blair and Russell are volunteering at his camp at Camp Trinity. It's a week for people with disabilities, so he goes Monday to Friday. And before you ask what I'm going to do with all my free time, I have a board meeting that whole Tuesday. That Wednesday, I take Blair, pick her up, take her to Raleigh, and then she goes on a summer camp trip Thursday morning. And then Thursday afternoon, a week from today, I'll be at Posh Pelican from 3 to 5 at Atlantic Beach having a book signing and shopping. So there's all my freedom. There's my break. What do red hot dogs taste like? I don't know. I hope that darn Kennedy is not going to get rid of the red dye in hot dogs. That would be terrible. Red hot dogs, no, they're not spicy. They're just good. You grill them. I don't know. They're very good. I like an all beef hot dog too, but a red hot dog is important. Oh my gosh. Do you hear him? It's Amos, who hadn't had breakfast yet or his medicine. So that's next on the list. But I hope everybody has a good day. Try not to stress yourselves out. Do your laundry. I'm just sitting amongst folded piles. Oh, y'all want to see this painting I got yesterday? Kelly Reitzel. Okay, you looking? Doesn't it look like Amos? I had to buy it. I went to Ladyfingers, which is a great spot in Morehead City. Boys in general cost a lot of money. Hey, you're representing an Uncle Adam's t-shirt. Let me see. Actually, that was mine. I found all these old t-shirts at my mom and dad's house. Their house is on the market in Rocky Mount. And
is Thomas asleep?
He's outside on surfing.
Really?
Where? I've told y'all that like 10 times.
Yeah, and I was out there and I didn't see him.
Is the foil board out? Oh, Daddy's out on the foil, the new foil.
Dad's out on the paddle board.
Well, where's the foil?
No idea.
Well, he must have taken it to the beach because I don't see it.
So it just got bad.
Thomas has been surfing for like 2 hours, 3 hours. We found a bunch of old t-shirts that we were going to use for a quilt. And then I decided the quilt doesn't appear like it's going to be made. So we might as well start wearing the t-shirts. But now I think I want that one back.
I'm going to go look at the waves.
That'd be good to go to South Carolina.
Hey, there's Dad.
Oh, Dad's back? It's a lot of looking at waves and thinking about going in the waves. I just sit here and watch them. I'm going to vacuum. Why no quilt? Well, we are going to do a quilt at some point, but my children don't need a quilt of my old t-shirt. Like, I don't need a quilt for myself because I'm 50. And then what are they going to do with it when I'm gone? They're not going to want it. I'm already like, trust me, I have just cleaned out 2 houses. I'm trying to just think very carefully about what my plans are for things. Like all these portraits of Amos, which obviously Amos won't want, so who's going to have those? They'll be for sale or free. But anyway, how was it?
It was fun. It's hard to get out there though, with the paddleboard at least.
Are the waves too big?
No, they just break one on top of another, so it's constant. So with that, you can't dive under the waves, so you're kind of exposed and get knocked back, and then you kind of battle your way back.
Would Russell like it?
Then you'll try to beat, a breaking wave, and it'll land right, and then you're all starting over. It's demoralizing. It took me about 20 minutes one time to get out.
Is little Thomas having fun? I told Russell he could go out there.
Yeah, it's not as good right now as it was an hour ago.
It looks like it's gonna rain, is it?
Yeah, it was clear when I first went out though. It looks like there is a storm developing over like Newport.
Are we gonna go on the boat or just hang out here?
I thought we'd go on the boat tomorrow.
On the 4th of July?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if I can get into all that.
I don't think there's any difference between today and tomorrow.
Well, there'll be more people on the boat tomorrow.
Yeah, we can go out to Cape Lookout. You know, be a bunch of little boats.
Does Big Thomas call Little Thomas Little Thomas? Do you call him Little Thomas?
No, I rarely call people by name. I don't know what it is.
No, I think he just says Thomas.
Yeah, I do.
I say it because my dad will be like, I don't know who you're talking about. I'm like, well, just use the context of the conversation.
Usually, the subject matter will.
I'll be like, Little Thomas is working tonight. Well, which one? I guess that could be true. Little Thomas is driving for the football game. Food commenting. You had to watch it. Oh, you found commenting in the YouTube app. Well, there are people going out there. Well, I guess we'll get set up out there. Might be kind of nice. We'll see. Tomorrow, we got to cook that tenderloin. When will we cook the tenderloin if we go on the boat?
Oh, I don't know.
We could have tenderloin tonight instead and have wings tomorrow. I cooked those wings ahead of time so we didn't have to cook today if we went on the boat. Thoughts?
What's that?
Do you think we should cook the tenderloin today if we're going to go on the boat tomorrow?
Yeah, maybe so.
And we could just have tenderloin tonight for dinner?
Yeah.
Would the wings be good tomorrow, you think?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I think we should do that then.
You've always got an accelerated idea as to when food goes bad.
I have an accelerated idea.
No, I mean, if something's been like sitting for like 2 days, you consider it time to throw it out.
Did you grow up like that? What was y'all's rule of thumb?
We would usually salt things and keep them for at least 6 months.
Tell that story that you told at your dad's service about that smell.
I smelled that my entire life.
You smelled that your entire life? Fish?
Yeah, he would keep a bag of salted herring at all times, and he would keep it behind the jukebox. I mean, like, imagine using that as a storage place.
You had a jukebox?
Yeah, we had 2 or 3 of them. He had a jukebox fetish, there for a while.
What kind of music was in them?
Whatever, like, he was in them when he bought it at auction.
Do you remember the
It
music?
could have been anything. He wasn't a big audiophile, he wasn't like buying, records or anything. He was just buying the jukebox.
But tell him you smelled something.
I just remember this distinct but awful smell. And it got worse gradually over time. And it was downstairs, in the play area, on Eton Road. And I mean, I couldn't ignore it. It kept, it almost like entered your nightmares. And then I pointed it out to my mother, and we identified this bag that had been rolled up in one, just like a brown paper sack. And then neither one of us could reach it, so he came down and got it and opened it and ate a fish out of it.
He had real long hands. Fingers, your dad.
Could you imagine?
And it's How could you eat something that smelled that bad?
Well, it didn't smell bad to him. It was a distinct smell. Like some people wouldn't call it bad. It was like the way that salted fish, would smell. Most people keep it in the refrigerator, but he never did. But just would let it sit there indefinitely. Like there was one room in that Cowper Drive house. It was a bar, I guess. There was a bathroom in there. It was a big house. It had all these rooms. Like some rooms that you may never even enter the entire time you're in the house. But But sure enough, this one had my mother would always prepare these elaborate drinks, like apple toddy or something, and then they'd have a party, and this thing that had been fermenting on the counter, somebody would drink it, and next thing you know, they claimed they'd seen, they'd hallucinated. And I remember seeing a grown man, Bernie Reeves, was laying on the ground.
Because he drank the apple toddy?
Yeah, and it got to him to such a degree where he passed out. He said,
"How do you make an apple toddy?"
I don't know. You need to find out. I remember it was in these earthenware vats, and there was tin foil over the top of
Because
it.
you didn't have the old cork.
And then there were apples floating at the top. Almost looked like those. What are those types of fried apples? You get at a gas station. Looked like they had several of them floating in the top.
I never saw an apple toddy.
Yeah. It's probably banned.
She did say one time they had a party and she made a bunch of hot dogs and everybody got sick.
Really?
60 people got the stomach bug.
From hot dogs?
From the hot dogs.
Oh gosh, that's not the stomach bug. That's food poisoning.
She called it the stomach bug. From the hot dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
It was probably salmonella or something more serious.
Fermented apples, alcohol poisoning, and blindness.
Yeah, Bernie claimed that he had been blind before he passed out.
Oh, golly.
That was one of my coming of age moments of looking at a man laying on the ground face down, totally passed out. That's how I grew up.
Because of fermented apples. Oh, golly, that's terrible. The ham story. Oh, gosh. I told the YouTube members that I think Thomas told that recently, the ham story. Your uncle fermented apricots. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, that would have been a hit.
Thomas's dad, near the end of his life, he really, really wanted apricots. I had to order some. I ordered some cans on Amazon.
Yeah.
And then he did not get tangerine juice. He wanted tangerine juice. We didn't know where to get that.
Isn't that orange juice?
No, it's tangerine juice.
He sort of split his time between Food Line and Harris Teeter, so there was a wide range of things
Your dad.
that were not available that he'd been
And they would go to Whole Foods, Ollie's,
Yeah.
or Aldi.
Yeah, they were always in different grocery stores.
Mommy.
Hi.
They also would go to Costco.
Which they again should I play on the launch from TV
You want a donut?
in the game about vehicles?
A game about
You want
vehicles?
a donut?
Yes. I want a donut.
Okay.
Oh, where'd you get a donut? Is it from me?
No, from Sissy.
Oh, from Sissy. Is Sissy going to be at camp with you this week?
No.
And Russell? Where are you going to camp on Monday?
Cam's family.
Oh, how many sleeps do you have there?
4.
4 sleeps. Oh, I'm going to be so sad.
It's just you and Russell
They
going?
must have gonna have fun.
What does Amos do at Camp Trinity? Is there a talent show?
Yeah.
Do you have milk and
Not
cookies? Do you ride around on a
Oh, huh?
golf cart? Do you go on the
There's one thing you have training.
How many sleeps till Camp Trinity?
More.
4 sleeps till Camp Trinity. Yay! And then where are you going the next week? Camp
Royale.
Camp Royale. You got lots of fun stuff to do.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
need pancakes and milk.
You need pancakes. Okay. We'll get your, bless you. We get your pancakes.
When they me and then up out there, don't on
Well, so
that
you
don't
probably
go.
enjoyed the
Should I
surfing
play?
out there.
Maybe coil butt.
Maybe coil books.
Actually, now wouldn't be the time.
If
to go to
you
the
are
winter,
not a
like 2
member
o'clock.
and you like coffee chats like this in the morning, come on and
Well, because it's
become a member.
peak low tide right now and it's closing out.
it's fun. Goodbye.
But about 2 o'clock, it should be really good.